Hi everyone. Today I want to explain about my presentation for STIA 1123 Programming 2 subject. We need to do a simple Gui Interface Registration System based in Java programming language. The title given is Comic Book Registration System. So let's see my login screen first. This is the login screen, and we enter the username and password to log in. Okay, this is the main screen of my registration system. So let's see the functions in my program. So we add comic book name, and we enter the price and the publisher. So this is how the head function works in this program. The data will appear in the table, and we add another detail. So it just continuously add up the details in this table when we use the add button. And now we go to the update button. So if you want to change any value or the details in the near future, we can use this update function. We click the information we want to change, and we can change the detail. So this is how the update button is working. And we now move to delete button. We choose the detail we want to delete from the registry, and we click the delete button and click yes. So you all can see the registry was deleted from the table, and we have a search function also. Click the search button and type the comic name to search and click OK. So we search the Wolverine. The comic name exists in the J table, so the search function give a message found and click OK. And we also have a clear button to empty up the filling spaces. Makes easy for the user to enter the data again, no need to erase back all. And finally, the exit button to terminate the program. That's all for the login screen, main screen, and function. I used object-oriented concept in my coding process. So if you want to use the object-oriented programming concept, we need to have an object in our program. So my object is the comic. This is the comic object class in my program, and I declare a constructor on comic that passing parameters with string name, string price, and string publish. And these three all are the getter methods to return the value of the variable name, price, and publish. So when we want to store the data of the object, we need array list to store the data into the array list of the object. So now I want to show the array list implementation in my program. This is my main screen class. So I declared the array list comic list in the public class main screen, and I created the object in the public main screen comic list equal to new array list. This is how I implemented the array list concept to store the information of the comic object into this array list. Now let's see the GUI interface component in my program. First, in the login screen. In the login screen, this is the big JFrame that contains all the details here, and this is JLabel on login screen, and some more two JLabels here, username and password. And this is the JText field to fill up the information for the variable username and the variable password. And there is two buttons here, login and cancel. And now we go to the main screen. And now in the main screen, this is the big frame for the main screen, and there is a JLabel showing main screen and the declaration of the variables showing JLabel for comic name, comic price and comic publisher. And they also got three JText fields to fill up the information of the variable name, variable price and variable publisher. And we also got six buttons here: add button, update button, delete button, clear button, search button and exit button. For the respective functions we already see in the previous explanation, and here we got a JTable for showing up the informations data we insert here, and it will appear again in this table to show which data is in the system and which data was deleted, or for all the other functions. This is for the GUI interface component. Okay, now we're going to see the button listeners in my program. First, for the login screen, and there got two buttons, login and cancel. For the login, if the password and name contains this value, it will log into the main screen. If the password or username is incorrect, it will show a login error message to the user. Then see, this is the login error message, helps the user to input a correct username and password again. And if you click OK, it will automatically empty up the spaces, and it makes easy for the user to input the value again. And for the cancel button, if you want to terminate the program, and just click the cancel button, so the program will terminate. So now we see the action button listener for our main screen. We log in first. This is the main screen. Main screen. So for the action listener in main screen, the action listener for the main screen, first we have the add button here. So when the add action performed, the data we enter here in the name, price, publisher will add into the array list, that is the comic list here. So the data will store into the object in the comic list. And second, the update button. The update button, when we click the update button, the action performed by it update the new data entered into the J text field of the three variables, and it will automatically add the newly updated data into the comic list. Next, the delete action listener. When we click the delete button, after we choose the registry that we want to delete from the system, it will show that delete message, delete this data, and we click yes, and it will delete the data from the registry from the comic list.remove row. And the clear button, and we implemented a method to J text field name, J text field price, J text field publish to become null. So when we impose this button, the function will occur. So we just used the method in the delete function to clear the data, and in the J button, clear action performed. So we declared the method in this private void J button clear action performed. And for the search listener, so we need to input in the J option pane dialog message. So if the input matches with the data in the comic list, it will show a message found the comic we searched, else it will returns the comic we searched was not found in the program. And finally, the exit button. The exit button just terminate from us from the program. So system.exit in bracket 0. And that's all for the listener. And now we going to see the file read and write. So this is the private void write data method. Help us to create a file, namely data.txt document in the program registry to help us to store the data information we entered during the program runtime, and it will store after the termination of the program. This helps us to store the data properly in a safer way. And to load the data from the text document, we used a method private void load data. So this will help us to load the data we stored earlier from the program, and it will show in the J table and store into the data.txt document, and it will appear again after we terminate and open again the program. This helps the user to minimize the time to store or reuse the same data or to store back again. You no need to waste his time by doing this, by having this function. So we declared both this load data and write data method, implemented the load data method in the public main screen and the write data method. So whatever we add, when we click the add button, it will automatically implement the write data method to create a file in the registry of the program, and same to the update function and the delete function. And that's all for the file read and write, and it shows like how we all know. And we log in again and we click login, and you all can see previously we added the Wolverine comic name into the system, and this shows that the load data method helps to load the data from the text document file previously we entered. So this is the registry and this is the data text document, and you all can see it stores the data here, and we add up another comic. So we add and we exit, and you can see it writes the method. Firstly we have the Wolverine 15 Marmor Entertainment, and the next data Superman 20W Warner Bros Entertainment, and the load function will help to load this data again to the program in the form of JTable. Yeah, here you can see the data is already there. It was done by the private void load data method. It loads the data from the data text document. So that's all for the file read and write methods, and that's all about my program. This is a simple registration system based on Gui interface on Java programming language, and that's all from me. Thank you very much. Bye bye.